In these uncertain economic times, you've got to do whatever you can to save money. One of our biggest expenses can be our cars, especially when unexpected repair bills hit. Not anymore. If you own a vehicle with less than 130,000 miles, is less than 12 years old, has a warranty about to expire, or even no warranty at all, you could stop paying for car repairs. Roadside assistance, towing, and rental coverage are all included. Don't wait for the next repair. Make one free call right now to see if you qualify. If your vehicle is less than 12 years old, has less than 130,000 miles, even if it's out of warranty, paying for car repairs can become a thing of the past. Call us right now and get your car protected before your next repair bill hits. Get protection and no more repair bills. Call 800-696-1030. Again, 800-696-1030. That's 800-696-1030. 800-696-1030.
You are listening to KLRN Radio, where liberty and reason still reign.
All writers are prone to becoming so attached to our characters and stories that we struggle to see why a passage may not be working. It takes another set of eyes to help us nurture our writing to full maturity. At Black Wolf Editorial Services, we strive to enable writers to develop and grow, shaping stories into masterpieces that can stand the test of time. Editing services are provided for all genres and all age categories. Services range from critiques of the short story through to the line edits of the full-length novel and copy editing for those preparing for publication. We also offer assistance on generating a writer's bio for your websites, as well as help with those book blurbs and promotional material. We won't abandon you to the masses. We want to celebrate with you in your successes. Black Wolf Editorial Services, nurturing your writing into maturity. For a full list of services and prices, visit us at blackwolfeditorial.com.
Individuals and businesses with tax problems, listen carefully. Do you feel like you're losing control over your finances? If you owe over $10,000 in back taxes or have unfiled tax returns, we can help you take back control. The IRS is the largest and most aggressive collection agency in the world, and they can seize your bank account, garnish your paycheck, close your business, and file criminal charges. Take control of your tax problems now by calling the experts at Tax Mediation Services and take advantage of the Fresh Start program and new laws that may allow us to negotiate a settlement for the lowest amount possible. Our team of tax attorneys and enrolled agents can stop collections and get you protected so you can take control of your financial future. Tax Mediation Services is accredited by the Better Business Bureau. Call now for a free case review and a price protection guaranteed quote.
Call Tax Mediation Services now at 800-610-9050. That's 800-610-9050. 800-610-9050.
KLRN Radio has advertising rates available. We have rates to fit almost any budget. Contact us at advertising@klrnradio.com.
This is Slickery Trigger for Rebel Road Tactical. With proper care and feeding, your pistol will be ready when you need it, there to save your life. Shouldn't your gear be that good? Whether you need a holster for comfortable everyday carry or a tough-as-nails holster for your next training course, Rebel Road Tactical has what you need. Check us out on the web at rebelroadtactical.com.
Tired of paying outrageous prices for Viagra? Well, we have great news for you. Now you can finally get Viagra at huge discounts. Healthy Man allows you to save up to $500 on Viagra. Why pay U.S. pharmacy prices of $15 per pill or more when you can get Viagra for less than $3 a pill? Call today and get 40 Viagra pills for only $99. This can cost as much as $600 at your local pharmacy. You can't afford not to call us. If you want Viagra at the lowest prices, never pay $15 $3 a pill pharmacy prices again. Get Viagra for less than $3 a pill. Call 1-800-516-7602 today and save up to $500 and get 40 pills for just $99. Healthy Man is fast, easy, and affordable. Operators are waiting at 1-800-516-7602 to take your call right now. Call 1-800-516-7602. That's 1-800-516-7602. Again, 1-800-516-7602.
Is debt beating you down? You need discipline. You need the Debt Ninja. If you've been caught in a financial trap and need to be set free, then you need the Debt Ninja. Want to stop those harassing collection calls, start saving thousands in interest and fees, and get out of debt fast? Then you need to call the Debt Ninja. The Debt Ninja will find the best companies across the country that will help you consolidate all your bills into one easy payment, reduce your payments by 30 to 50%, and get you out of debt fast. If you have unsecured debt of $10,000 or more, such as credit cards, loans, or medical bills, call the Debt Ninja for a free 15-minute consultation.
Call 800-826-1246. 800-826-1246. That's 800-826-1246. Call today.
The Debt Ninja.
You are listening live to the Vito and Vito Show. Disrespectful to the executive branch.
I would remind you that extremism in the defense of liberty is no vice.
Don't sign the damn deal, and the president won't.
Therefore, I do not believe that the majority can vote a man's life or property or freedom away from him.
We're live here on the Vito and Vito Show. I'm Vito.
And I'm Vito.
And we don't want to waste any time. We got a show for you. I know we're coming in hot because we got a guest on the line. And we just dropped the call. All right, we just dropped the call. We're going to get back on right now. We got a big guest for you tonight here on the Vito and Vito Show. A big guest indeed. We are talking with Tommy Robinson. Let's get him back on the line. Vito, tell the good people at home what they're listening to.
You are listening to the perspectives of two college-age millennial conservative libertarians at a liberal hellhole, Brooklyn, New York, where we're committed to defending the principles of free markets, liberty, and individualism. We hold no punches here on the show.
All right. Here we go as we get in touch with Mr. Robinson, and I think we got him on the line right now. There we go. Tommy Robinson, is that you?
It is.
It is him. He's here with us right now. He's a big advocate, an anti-Islamic advocate. This guy is amazing. He's the leader of the English Defense League, and we're happy to have him on the program. Welcome to the program, Mr. Robinson.
Thank you. And as you can see, there's news unfolding in Europe again. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And I would come on and say I'd like to send all my wishes and my prayers to the people of France, but I think everyone must be fed up of saying that. Everyone. It's non-stop. It's like you can't keep on putting up pictures of the French flag. You can't keep on sending love to a country if they're not going to defend themselves from what's happening.
Well, listen, I'm just as pissed as you are as a college student, a university student here in the States. It pisses me off to no end to see this going on, to see classmates of mine, they appease Islam, they let Islam, they make excuses for Islam. It pisses me off to no end. It pisses off my co-host. So, you know, we see the attacks in France. And it drives us absolutely insane, and it bothers me because I'm sick and tired of these damn hashtags, pray for Paris, pray for this. I want to see some action, and I want people to call out Islam for what it is.
That's it. It's going to solve nothing. And America, you should be looking and learning from what's happening over here. I wish we had a country that we could have looked to 10, 15 years ago, because you're a little bit behind us. But the problems we've envisaged, the problems we're facing, the problems that the state have actually chosen the side of Islam. The state and the powers that be, the people that in control, the money, the finance is coming from Islam. And everything from our police force to our politicians are bending over backwards, appeasing and allowing it to steamroll its way through Europe. And that's what we're seeing. I'm glad we just voted out of Europe, but countries like France, it's just statistics and numbers. It's a demographic time bomb that we face, and how people what people will put on their Facebook, they'll put on their Twitters tonight, how upset they are. They'll get up tomorrow and they'll go to work and pretend nothing's happened, and that's the reality.
Well, that's the saddest part, is that people are going to wake up tomorrow morning, like you said, and it's going to be like, it's going to roll off their backs because we've basically become sensitive. You know, we've lost.
Desensitized to what's happening. We're desensitized to rape. We're desensitized to terrorism. We're desensitized to seeing these things. I've just had so many people attacking me on my social media because I'm sharing the video of what's happened. And it's about time people looked at these videos, looked at the horrific content of them, because that's reality. That's real life. That's what's going to happen and continue to happen on our streets in our countries, because we have allowed a foreign ideology that despises everything we hold dear, everything we value, our freedom, our democratic, everything we care about. They wish to destroy and take from us. And we're steamrolling and holding our arms open. Our politicians are, and our people are against it. But there is a turning point, I think, happening politically in the world. It's happening in Europe. It's been happening for a few years, where there's a complete shift from left to right, where the only answer will be in Marie Le Pen. The only answer will be in Geert Wilders. The only answer will be in politicians who are brave enough and courageous enough to call a spade and to tackle it and name it.
Well, I know that you work with Paul Weston. Is that correct, over in England?
I do, yeah.
Okay, we love Paul Weston. We met him at CPAC. We love Liberty GB, and we stand with them here in the States, and we're going to try to get them on the show later on in the year. But, I mean, you guys are all putting together a crusade against Islam over there. And before we even get into that, I want to first ask you, so the viewers here in America know just what your organization is about. Give us a quick synopsis, and then I want to start talking about the Muslim immigration patterns in Europe and how they're coming over here eventually.
Okay, a synopsis is that 6 or 7 years ago, there was a soldiers' homecoming parade in my hometown, and it was attacked. It was violently attacked by a group of radical Muslims. I formed an organisation in response to that called the United People of Luton, which then progressed into the English Defence League, where we travelled the country confronting and tackling Islam wherever it raised its ugly, barbaric head. From that, I faced full attack from the state. I've been imprisoned. I've had terrorist attacks against our lives. We've faced a full barrage of everything from trying to, you think you live in a country. I thought I lived in a country 7 years ago, a certain country that held certain values. And I realised that it was all a facade. Freedom of speech, there is no freedom of speech. There's no freedom of speech in Europe. You can't use freedom of speech. You cannot criticise Islam or the full weight of the government will come down on you. And that's what I've faced. And that's the organisation I've formed. It's now changed. I left the English Defence League. We had our problems as a nationalistic organisation. We mixed. I was young as well when I started it, and there was a lot of aggression, a lot of anger, and we also mixed out of alcohol. So we had our own problems. Politically, you talked about Liberty GB. Me personally, I don't see a political party, a new political party, having any opportunity to get where we need to be in Britain because of our first past the post system. In other countries in Europe, you'll see Geert Wilders, you'll see the Swedish Democrats, you'll see Marie Le Pen. There's a political answer. We're in quite a bad situation. We may have voted for Brexit, but unless the Conservative Party start tackling Islam or speaking about it, which we don't see at the minute, Theresa May, who's just been elected as our Prime Minister, she has just recently set up an investigation into Sharia courts, Sharia tribunals, because we have 100 Sharia courts in the UK. She set up an investigation. Do you know who she's got on the chair of her investigating panel?
No, I don't.
An imam.
Really?
An imam. And she's got 2 other imams as advisors. So it's dead before it started. We need to be honest. We do need an in-depth investigation into Islam in the UK, but we need it honest and frank. We need to speak honestly about it, which unfortunately we can't. And we keep getting this facade that Islam's a religion of peace, which we all know it's not. And I'm afraid that anyone watching or Americans looking over at Europe, the Europe you think you knew has changed, and it's changed very quickly.
Well, Tommy, I don't mean to cut you off, but I want to hit on just a couple of different topics here because we don't have a lot of time. So, I do apologize. The English Defence League said you're no longer a part of it. So, what are you a part of right now? What's your organisation that you're
an organisation called Pegida UK, which has formed out of a German organisation actually that has had tens of thousands of people speaking in east of Germany, because this problem's it's not a European problem. It's not an English problem. We've said that for years. This is a worldwide problem that we face. And it's going to hit us all at the same time. So, I'm just an activist who's speaking out and trying to highlight the problems in the UK about Islam.
I mean, we've seen you on Twitter, and we love the work you do. So it's great to have you on. So now you're obviously in England. That's a wild guess.
I'm in Luton.
So you're obviously over there in the UK, and you see what's going on. I want to talk about the immigration patterns from the Middle East. We see them coming all the way. We see refugees coming in. We see they're just accepting everybody. Explain to me this. What do we do here? What do you do? How do you guys stop this Muslim invasion, basically, of your country? And it's coming over our country, too.
Well, you know, people say, if people said Sharia law is coming to America, yeah, people would say, no, never. And people in my hometown, the town I'm from is called Luton. And 30 years ago, if you'd have said to those people, in 30 years' time, you'll have 28 mosques, your soldiers will be attacked in the streets by Muslims, every single restaurant will be halal, you will not be allowed to fly the flag of St. George, you'll be changing the name of Christmas. If you'd have said that 30 years ago to the people in my hometown where I live, they'd have said, never. That will never happen. Fast forward 30 years to 2016, that's happened. That's where we live. That's where I live. I live as a minority English person in a town overpopulated by Muslims, and it's not good. And our women are attacked, and crimes are committed, and the police don't follow it up. So all that apathy of people thinking that will never happen. That's not going to happen. It's going to happen, and it's happening. And at the click of your fingers, the way I've seen my town decay and change. I'm only 33. So I can remember when I was at school and I was growing up, and I've watched the hometown I'm from is where the launch pad for the 7/7 bombings were. It's where the fertilizer bomb plotter was born. It's where the Stockholm bomber was radicalized. It's where Al Mujahideen's head office is. I've seen it all. I've seen it all on the streets of growing up. I've watched it. I understand it. And I've tried warning about it for 10 years to say this is happening. And Luton, my hometown, is a blueprint for every other town in the UK. And the UK is a blueprint for other cities in Europe. And Europe is a blueprint for America. It's coming. And the only thing you can do to stop it is what Donald Trump said. You have to get a grip of it. You have to stop. You have to stop Muslim immigration. Until we get to the root cause of this problem. Why do so many of them want to kill us? Why are we constantly facing our women, constantly facing attacks of rape? Constantly. 90% of the convictions of street-level grooming against young children in the UK, 90% are Muslims from a population of 4%. Now, that is a shockwave that just needs to wake up politicians and wake up people. But unfortunately, because there's this huge propaganda campaign to not even tell us the truth, the mainstream media don't even tell us what's going on. I only know what I know because I've grown up in it. I've grown up in it. Some of my best friends are converted. Some of my friends I grew up with have converted to Islam. Some of them are in jail for ISIS. Some of the kids I've grown up with have gone to fight for ISIS. That's where we live. And every single institution in our country, prisons, education, colleges, universities, are all being used.
Yeah, well, I mean, Tommy, you're right there. And it bothers me too because what I'm starting to see in the United States, and I see this a lot in Britain from documentaries that I've seen, I think it was even on the BBC, Muslim no-go zones. I mean, you got to explain this to me because, like you said, Donald Trump's really the only candidate calling this stuff out. How long till it gets to America? I know you guys got it in England over there. Can you please explain to us over here what is a Muslim no-go zone and just how detrimental they are to liberty and law?
Well, what we had is, for years growing up, growing up in Luton, there's constant attacks against non-Muslims if you walk near their areas, especially because they have their own areas, especially if you're intoxicated with alcohol. Now, what woke everyone up to this was the groups of Muslims started putting placards, started putting stickers all over the streets and on the lampposts saying, you are entering the Sharia zone. No alcohol. And then there's videos of them online chasing people, beating people, attacking people who were intoxicated. God. They were going up to women who were wearing skirts saying you cannot dress like this. And once these videos come out and these stickers were shown, that just showed everyone what we know. We know that. Do you know what I mean? But the rest of the country don't know that because they don't understand it. So these people, most of whom would be our politicians, who do not live in the areas we live, in the poor, degraded areas. They don't live where we live. They don't live where the Muslims are. They keep telling us how great it is. Come and live where we live. Come and live where we live and see and let your children be scared. Let you be scared to let your daughter go to the park because of the intense hostility aimed at them simply for being non-Muslim. So there is plenty we could be doing in the UK to address this problem. We could be stopping the benefits for more than 2 children because currently Muslims, for example, my local imam has 3 wives and 14 children. We're paying for that.
Oh my God.
Yeah, and
that's crazy.
No, that's just common. Every single Muslim I've debated over the years, the first thing I ask them is, every single one, and I've done hundreds, every single one, I say, how many children have you got? Every single one. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's how it is. That is a demographic takeover from us, and we're paying for it because they're all on benefits. So we could stop the benefit system for more than 2 children. We could stop all Saudi Arabia funding money coming in because they're destroying our country. All Iranian, all Qatari money. We don't want it. We don't want it in our country. And all this talk of our economy collapsing after the Brexit vote, people didn't vote for economy. That's not what we were voting for. We were all voting for our culture, for our identity. Sorry if I sound like I'm getting hyped up. I get passionate about these issues.
No, you know what? You should get passionate. You should get hyped about these issues because we damn as hell do over here as well. And you have every right to get like that.
And shout it down. And I see the same with Donald Trump. Shout it down, continue. I continually get called a racist. And it's like, I've never said anything racist in my life, ever. I oppose a fascist ideology which is going to destroy our nation. And all of you want, and when I look at what our forefathers would have gone through, they were lying at the age of 15 to say they were 16, or they were 14 and they were pretending they were 16 to go and run and die for our country and for our future. And now you've got people hiding behind their curtains, scared to even mention the word Islam. And they know it, and everyone knows it. Everywhere I go, I'm sometimes called the most hated man in the UK by the media. Yeah, I'm not. I know that by the reception I get where I go. Yes, when I go on my day-to-day routines, Muslims try to attack me, but no non-Muslims. All the non-Muslims shake my hand and tell me to keep going. All the West Indians, all the Sikhs, all the Hindus, all the Jews. Everyone knows what's happening. Everyone knows it's wrong, but political correctness has become so powerful.
Well, that's the problem. The political correctness in our culture, it's not just here, it's not just there, it's everywhere. It's a worldwide problem. Political correctness has grown to basically consume rational thought and debate. We're not allowed to talk about these issues anymore. You get called an Islamophobe or whatever the hell you get called anymore. So
that's why Donald Trump's been a breath of fresh air, because I think he's moved the goalpost.
He really has been, because as a former Ted Cruz supporter, I liked him a lot too. But then I saw Donald Trump, and then I saw, you know what, Donald Trump's the man. He won me over with his Muslim ban because I see the pressing issue that's going on in the world right now. That's not only affecting our country, but what's affecting the entire world. I want to ask you a quick question about the Prime Minister, because you got a new Prime Minister in there, Theresa May. Now, what you talked about this a little bit before, but I want you to go more into detail, and what the current leadership now is going to do. How do they intend to address this problem?
She's on record. She's on record as saying Sharia law has benefited many Britons in the UK. She's on record as saying that. She's on record. Now, 4 years ago, I set up a meeting because when she was Home Secretary in one of her constituents' names, and I turned up at the meeting. Yeah, and I sat down there, and it was all in our newspaper saying I ambushed her, but I didn't ambush her. I sat down for 30 minutes. I opened up a computer, and I made her watch, and I kept rewinding it to a young English girl having her head caved in and beaten in by Muslim men. And her comment was, I can't comment on that. I said, no, you can't comment on that. But if that was a Muslim woman wearing a headscarf with 4 English men jumping on her in that way, you'd be on every news channel in my country. Mm-hmm. You'd be telling everyone how bad it is. That's the problem. This is happening. And I have zero faith, if I'm honest, in Theresa May sorting this problem. When you look at her comments, when you look at her pandering already and her appeasement already to Islam, I was hoping Boris Johnson would stand. But I don't know. I don't want to sound depressing, but I don't see any decent solution to this problem other than huge conflict to solve this. Because I don't see an answer. These people are not going. These extremists and these radicals and these jihadists, they're not going to go away. They're growing in structure. They're growing in number every year. We now have 3,500 would-be jihadists that we monitor 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. In 10, 15 years, that might be 30,000. That's a small army.
That's absolutely frightening. That is
£9 billion a year.
£9
billion a year.
Wow.
Just to monitor them.
That's crazy. That's absolutely insane. And just think about the financial cost. I mean, that money could be going, first of all, back to taxpayers. But that money could go back to schools. That money can go, to the NHS. I know you guys got that over there.
50% of Muslim men are on benefits. 75% of Muslim women. It's unsustainable.
Wow.
What's happening and where we're heading is unsustainable. It's unsustainable.
That's frightening. Now, I got to ask you a quick question because we're going to wrap up this interview. And you've been great, Tommy. You've been absolutely great. Tommy Robinson, he's a great activist over in England, and he's fighting the good fight. Let me ask you this, Tommy, and you can just give me a quick answer here. When we look at Muslims. I hear this all the time. Not all Muslims are bad. There are moderate Muslims. Is that true? We had Christopher Logan of the North American Infidels on our program last time, and he was talking to us about how there is no such thing as a moderate Muslim. You can't change the Quran. You have to believe in this crazy, crazy ideology in order to be considered a true Muslim. So the question is, are there moderate Muslims?
Look, I know, and this is just being honest, because some of the best people, growing up in the town I've grown up in, some of the best people I've met have been Muslim. Yeah, Muslim by name. Muslim by name. Muslim has now become like a race and identity. Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I even pull my mates. One of my mates was a Muslim. He joined the Royal Navy. He loves our Queen. He loves our country. His mum's a black Kenyan Muslim. And I pull him on the things in Islam. I said, well, if you're a Muslim, what about this? But you find that many of these moderate Muslims, they're just born Muslim. They're not allowed to leave because they're too scared to leave. They'll be ostracized by their community. I find out when I end up talking and debating with these Muslims, who we class as moderate Muslims, they know very little about Islam. They know very little about what Muhammad did. So you have millions and millions of people worldwide who would be classed as moderate Muslims, whereas what I really see is they're non-practicing Muslims. Because if you want to become devout to the instructions of Muhammad, you're not going to be moderate.
That's it. That's the answer, and I say this in the classroom, I'll say this on college campuses, I say this on television, I say it on radio. That is the answer that I continue to give, and yet we're still considered Islamophobes, but whatever, dude, we're right. And that's the most important
and we'll be
part.
Proven right. History will be on our side.
Mm-hmm. And that is the truth. Tommy Robinson, go ahead, tell us your social media so we get more people to follow you. We can spread this message because it's very important. So give us your social media.
Is T Robinson at New Era. And Tommy Robinson on Facebook, and if any of you want to buy a book, it's called Enemy of the State, Tommy Robinson on Amazon, which basically tells the story of attempting to raise this issue in the UK. Attempting, and the lengths that really, I wasn't ready. I was ready for Muslims to try and kill me when I started this. I was ready to get beaten up in the street. I can take that. I can take that on the chin. What I wasn't ready for was my government and my police forces to target my family and destroy my life in the way they have. Simply for what I see. It's like I love my country and my country hated me back. That's how it seemed.
That's absolutely frightening. That is absolutely frightening. We want to have you back on in a future date to talk more about that book, because that seems...
Anytime, buddy.
That's
I'll send you it. Text me your address. I'll send you it.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. Tommy Robinson, thanks for coming on the Vito on Vito Show. We appreciate it. Keep up the good fight.
Thanks very much. Bye.
Vito, that was Tommy Robinson there, and this guy really he's great. He's fighting a good fight.
I mean, we see the troubles over the pond in the UK and Europe with the problem with Islam and radical. These terrorist attacks that we just saw actually in Paris. Paris and France and Nice tonight. They're saying it was a terrorist attack, but we don't have enough information. But a tractor trailer running people over.
You believe that?
I mean, this graphic video, we retweeted that. The New York Times has the video. Apparently the truck had arms and grenades and bombs.
Now, they said that a guy jumped out of the truck and was shooting up people. The driver of the truck or people inside the truck. There's still information coming in, and there's still no evidence that it is a radical Islamist, but I'm not going to put it past them.
No, I don't think this was an isolated incident. I don't think this was road rage or something like that. I mean, we see people. I saw someone tweet about it saying, "Well, this can't be a terrorist attack," and this and this, and it's ridiculous. What does this look like?
I don't know. We will see. Hold off on the speculation. Let the facts come in. But I'm telling you now, I would not put it past. I wouldn't be shocked if it was radical Islam. And this isn't the only thing that radical Islam can be associated with. Let's also associate, do not forget the Orlando shooting. Do not forget San Bernardino. Do not forget 9/11. We'll be right back after this. We're going to talk about the Day of Rage, Black Lives Matter, and the hatred of white people right here on the Vito and Vito Show.
Who might you save?
Your mother, your father, your husband, uncle, aunt, son.
Learn FAST, F-A-S-T, the sudden signs of a stroke, and you could save.
Your friend, teacher, boss.
F, face drooping. A, arm weakness. S, speech difficulty. T, time to call 911. F-A-S-T. That's F, face drooping. A, arm weakness. S, speech difficulty. T, time to call 911. The sooner they get to the hospital, the sooner they'll get treatment. And that can make a remarkable difference in the recovery of
your neighbor, the waiter, grandmother, grandfather.
So learn FAST, the sudden signs of a stroke, then pass it on, because you never know who might save you.
your wife, your colleague.
Spot a stroke fast. Visit strokeassociation.org. Brought to you by the American Stroke Association and the Ad Council.
It may be hard to believe, but people just like you are already saving money. FeedThePig.org makes it easy. Their simple savings plan teaches you how to start saving without going overboard. So you don't need to mooch off your friends.
You gonna finish that grape?
You mean the one in my mouth?
You don't need to stop buying the necessities.
What you're smelling is a natural musk.
Ew.
You don't need to be a medical test subject.
How do you feel?
Mostly okay. Sometimes, though.
You don't need to get a second job as a stuntman.
We need a new stuntman. Let's break for lunch.
You just need an internet connection. Don't get left behind. Start your personal savings plan with the tips and tools on feedthepig.org. That way, you don't need to sell your soul to the devil.
$15 is the best I can do.
All right, deal. Brought to you by the American Institute of CPAs, the California Society of CPAs, and the Ad Council.
Fighting the Common Core standards? Need a powerful tool to help inform others on this harmful education initiative? You're covered with Common Ground on Common Core, the collection of essays by 20 top education experts and activists. Reviewers call it the best single resource on the topic. You can share it with literally anyone. Order your print or digital copy of Common Ground on Common Core today. Just visit resoundingbooks.org. That's resoundingbooks.org. And get $2 off when you tell them Vito and Vito sent you. Paid for by Resounding Books Pack.
It's important to plan ahead for emergencies, like the storm. When it kicked in, we had a plan. We were able to get in touch with each other in no time.
Idea how to find each other.
The whole experience was fine.
The most frightening 10 hours of my life.
If there's one piece of advice I'd offer other moms out there, it's to stay calm and keep to the plan.
Some parents plan ahead, some don't. Make sure you know where to find your family in an emergency. Start your plan at ReadyPA.org. Brought to you by ReadyPA, FEMA, and the Ad Council.
And we're back here to the Vito and Vito Show. Check out the website, www.vitoandvito.com, vitoandvito.com, vitoandvito.com. Don't forget it. Give us a follow, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, at Vito and Vito Show. We had a great interview with Tommy Robinson, great activist. He's the author of Enemies from Within, and he really is just, I feel so bad for this guy, trying to talk about radical Islam, Islam in general, the ideology of Islam, and is being denounced as an Islamophobe and a racist and all this stuff, and is being picked and targeted in the streets of London, but he has a lot of support here in the States and, again, in parts of London, who there are people who agree with him.
Absolutely. 718-705-4469. Give us a call right now, but if you're listening to this recording on any other day besides Thursday night at 8 p.m., you'll probably get a pizza shop somewhere in Brooklyn. So save the number and call us when we're live on Thursday nights.
That's right.
Okay, but that means if you're listening to us right now, you hear my voice live from the basement of the Empire State Building. That means you have to give us a call right now and tell us exactly what you're thinking.
Get on the horn. We got a lot to talk about.
Anything. It doesn't have to be exactly this topic. You can interrupt us. It might be a little rude, but you know what? We'll answer your question. We'll be respectful. That's what we do.
Why not? Go ahead. Give us a call. 718-705-4469 if you're listening to the Thursday night broadcast. Go to VitoandVito.com. Click the Listen Live tab Thursday, 8 p.m. Eastern Time to give us a call so we can talk with you. All right, let's go, Vito. Let's talk about this right now. Day of Rage.
Day of Rage. So, Vito, what is that?
July 15th is a Day of Rage, and let me just give you the synopsis of what this is all about. It's apparently a part of the Black Lives Matter movement, the group Anonymous, that hacking group where they're jumping on the bandwagon about this as well.
Be careful you say it before they hack us and we lose the show.
Well, I see. Well, whatever they want, they can have.
What they do.
It is the Day of Rage protest across America because of police brutality, etc., and racism, white privilege, all this crap. It's all being lumped together, and there's a big Day of Rage protest across the country. And there are a bunch of lists right here. If you go to thegatewaypundit.com, I go to this website all the time, and it's a list of different times to meet up with protesters, cities. So, like if you're in L.A., 4 p.m., there's a website, there's a location where you all can meet up and start the protest. There's one in New York, our backyard, Times Square, 7 p.m. on July 15th. So what is the Day of Rage? It's a protest against the oppression of black people in today's society and the racism that's on Fox News and, all the stuff that we had going on. It's finally happening, Vito. Black Lives Matter. We haven't had a chance to comment on it last week. But Black Lives Matter, and I've said this before and I'll say it again, is a racist, hateful, anti-American organization that is pent up on the destruction of law enforcement and white people. Mm-hmm. That's the truth.
We actually discussed this on Dennis Michael Lynch's show, which is coming on at 9 p.m. right after this show on Thursday night on Newsmax. You can see us often on DML Show and Newsmax TV.
Don't forget, we're going to post this clip up on our social media at Vito and Vito Show, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, so you can go ahead and check it out there.
This clip is amazing.
Yeah.
I can't wait to get it. Once they play it, we'll get the clip and throw it all over social media so everyone can see it, especially the Black Lives Matter people. But I would love to go to this protest Friday and dodge bullets because I'm sure they love us, but I actually have a job.
I don't think they have guns. Do they believe in guns?
Oh, no, guns are evil, except
so
if
what are they
going to
throw at you? I'm dying to know.
Oh, no, they can use the guns.
Oh, they can use the guns.
It's wrong if we have
okay, I'm
we
sorry.
as in white, straight males.
White, straight males, the biggest...
My heterosexuality is evil, so I can't use a gun because the gun will pull the trigger itself and kill minorities.
This is what we're living in. This is the culture. This is the BS. Again, I will say this once more, and I will continue to spew these facts until somebody listens. Statistically, the FBI reports more white people are killed by police officers in this country than black people. More black people die at the hands of other black people than white people. Another FBI statistic. So why do we continue? Do we really have to get into detail on this stuff? We've heard it time and time again. We've given the arguments to the Black Lives Matter groups. We've given argument to these people, and yet they don't listen. Vito, there was a woman on Fox News a couple of Sundays ago I was watching. Might have been last Sunday or the Sunday just... I don't know. She was on
bad memory. Continue.
She was on the weekend programs, and it was Kevin Jackson, conservative activist, who is an African-American male. He's a black guy. And you had a woman on the show who was a liberal professor. I didn't get her name. I didn't want to get her name. But she was on the show. So this liberal rag was on the program, and she looked at Kevin Jackson, who was a black man, and Kevin Jackson said, I do not believe there is white privilege. I do not believe there is systematic racism in this country. And she looked at him, and she said, how could you say that? You're a black man? Are you blind? And then she started yelling at him and telling him you don't understand the world, you're just blind to the obvious, all stuff like that. And then when Kevin Jackson said, and this was the best thing that I heard on this entire thing, was he said, black people can be just as racist as white people. This woman, this liberal boneheaded fool on Fox News, turns around and says to Kevin Jackson, black people can't be racist. Black people cannot be racist. You know why, Vito? You know why black people can't be racist? Because according to the left and their ever-evolving concept of definitions that always evolve every couple of days, because they can never really grasp something, they have to constantly change, like the evolving Constitution, the living document idea, the Constitution, how it's always changing, and you can find gay marriage in there, and monkeys screwing around.
Whatever fits.
Yeah, whatever fits. She said, this is the new definition from the left and how Black Lives Matter becomes a legitimate organization in their own eyes. Racism presupposes power. You have to have power to be racist. White people have all the power, therefore they have all the racism because they go after black people. This was her argument, and
black people have no power.
I spilled my morning coffee everywhere. My newspaper got all soggy. I didn't want to eat my breakfast. I was pissed, and you know why, Vito, I was pissed? Because that doesn't make any damn sense. You could be one person, if there was just one black person in the world, or one white person in the world, and they looked at everybody else, who is the opposite color of them, one black guy and 1 million white people, and the black guy says, I can't stand any of these honkies, you know what would happen, Vito? That man be considered a racist, and it's vice versa if it was a white guy who looked around at a bunch of black people and said, I can't stand black people.
You can't change the definition of things to fit any agenda. Racism means you hate somebody specifically and only because of their race, the color of their skin. That is it. We're actually going to forget about a moment coming up later that plays with definitions that you definitely want to listen into coming up in about 10-15 minutes or so. Alright, so Black Lives Matter, they hate us white people, straight white males, whatever. What else are we talking about, Vito?
No, I want to stick on this topic because I want to talk about how white people today are being oppressed. I want to talk about that. You see, Vito, we get laughed at all the time. There are different laws.
Because I'm a funny person.
All right. Well, there are different laws. They're laughing at you, moron. They're not laughing with you. But you have all these different laws in place that say that it's illegal to hire someone because they're black, right? You have racial discrimination laws. You have laws on the books for all these different issues. But Vito, you know what the best part is? There is no law for white people and their protections. Now, people are going to say, why would white people need protections? Well, why would black people need protections? It's 2016. We should get rid of these laws.
Doesn't that go against the 14th Amendment that says we all have to have equal rights and equal dogs and equal colors and equal stickers and equal?
Well, you're actually 100% right. I would say that's a great argument to use in terms of the Constitution. But
even though that's not what it really means, but that's what the liberals use.
Just in terms of the idea, it's gone out the window. It's gone completely out the window. We're not able to look at the situation in the face and confront it for what it is. It bothers me to high heavens that people could say that white people have, especially in the college campuses, as college students, we got to deal with this all the time, that us white males, us white straight males, we have patriarchy, we're the product of white privilege, we oppress black people, we're responsible for slavery and genocide.
Everything is oppressive today. Everything. That's the political correctness.
The gays hate the white people. The blacks hate the white people.
The whites hate the whites.
The whites hate, there's white guilt. Women hate whites. It's unbelievable.
You know how many white straight males I meet on college campuses? I'm a feminist too. Women have rights. Great. And I'm an abolitionist because I don't support slavery, okay?
Right.
What else? I'm a patriot because I want to break away from England. Okay? They have the wrong history. The wrong times.
They are living in a time. Yeah. They're living in a time period that doesn't make any sense. And the best part about this entire thing is, I really want a Black Lives Matter protester run this program because I want to ask them a question. Why are black people today oppressed? Give me one example. And every time I ask any supporter of the Black Lives Matter movement, how are black people oppressed? The only thing they say to me is, you can't see it? No, I can't. Provide me some damn proof so I, as a white male, can see something that I can't see according to you. When in reality, if we look at the facts, there is no systematic racism in this country. Please point to one law in this country that targets black people specifically. I don't see anything. You know why? Because it wouldn't make any sense. It's 2016. We're living in a time period where it would become political suicide for you to support something like that. So it doesn't make any sense for any politician to push forward a law that is fundamentally racist. There is no microaggression law that goes into place that says that somehow, some way, deep coded in a law somewhere, that this law is inadvertently against black people. That's crazy talk. I'm sick and tired of law enforcement officers getting shot. I'm sick and tired of white people being attacked. And I'm sick and tired of being a scapegoat for the problems of a community that needs to address not only itself, but problems with the government for giving free handouts, government-run schools, government-run programs, left and right in that community. It's time also to call out, don't forget, the idols in the black community. Like Snoop Dogg, and you have other people at the Snoop Dogg led a march, I think, on a police station. Explain to me how this pot-smoking guy who basically is associated with gangs is a great spokesman for the black community. Can someone please explain to me that? And don't forget the 70% of children born in the black community that are born out of wedlock. So you mean to tell me, let's also take a look at the economical conditions in that community and the idea of basically taking government benefits, and it goes on and on. There are more statistics to prove this point. I'm tired. I'm sick and tired. It's not a racist thing to say. It's a factual thing to say. And the more and more we call it out, the more and more better it'll be. If you're black, if you're white, if you're orange, I don't care. I stand with you if you say to me, I'm an American. And if you say that, damn it, I 100% agree with you. And I'm sick and tired of the victim mentality being played by government, Democrats, and the black community in itself. Same thing with the gay community and the feminism movement. It's all the same crap.
But, okay, you got that out of your system?
Yeah, I think so. Now wrap it up.
Yeah, all right, because you said a lot there. One, I think Snoop Dogg was actually defending the cops at the last protest.
But he is a staple of the black community.
Well, I think Reverend Al is a better...
Another moron. Reverend Al. There you go.
Jesse Jackson, all those... And the guy, DeRay, the Black Lives Matter protester who leads the thing, got a job at Yale. He blocked us on Twitter. I would love for him to come on the show, because he's a huge thing with this, but he got arrested in New Orleans last week.
For blocking traffic.
Blocking traffic. But, you know what the Black Lives Matter argument against that is? Well, the cops block traffic all the time.
I can't.
As in, maybe if you didn't riot, they wouldn't need the riot gear to block traffic and get you off the road. But wait, I'm racist. We're going to commercial, Vito?
No, we're not going to commercial. We gotta cut this short. Go ahead and give us a follow, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, at Vito and Vito Show. Two guys from Brooklyn as we talk about the political climate today. And give us your comments and your thoughts if you think this is good or not good. You agree with us or you disagree, go ahead and give it to us right now because we got to move on. We got a lot of topics to get to. And just before we go to break, I want to talk about Mike Pence is going to be Trump's VP. Reports are coming in, sources saying Trump's about to announce it this week at the RNC convention. So is Mike Pence a good choice or a bad choice for vice president? What do you think, Vito? Just give me a quick gist. We'll get more into it when we come back from the break.
I'll say he's good, not the best.
Okay, all right. I will say Mike Pence. All right, I'll agree with you. He's okay. He's not the best thing that ever happened. I still think Donald Trump should have picked the general. He should have went out and he should have picked somebody with some person with military background. That like Alan West. He should.
That's what I'm thinking of.
He should have picked somebody like Alan. I know it sounds crazy, but you know what? Why not? Mike Pence ain't terrible. He could probably carry the Midwest. I see where that's going. He supported Ted Cruz back in the primary. He was against Donald Trump's Muslim immigration ban.
And
so
he had about the Mexican judge.
Right.
Spoke about that.
Right. So just how loyal is this guy to Trump? I don't know. I really don't know.
Well, it's all politics. And remember, how many people are actually willing to be Donald Trump's VP?
That is true. That is true. Mike Pence has been tapped really to become the next political runner for president. You know, what the hell does that mean? The next presidential candidate in the future. He's as a prospect to run for president. Is this going to help or hurt him? I don't know. I think it'll help him. I think Trump, when he does win in November, he's going to be great, and the country's going to be great.
We know he's going to win. I think it depends on the administration.
Well, this is the first chance. This is him. I'm going to hire the best people. Did he hire the best person for the job? Don't go anywhere, because when we return, we're going to talk more about Mike Pence. Is it a good idea to have the governor from Indiana on the ticket with Donald Trump, the businessman from New York? And we're going to talk about the new GOP platform. It's sick. And I got to say, Vito and Vito are in full support of pornography. We're going to have a problem with this program, the platform, when we return right here to the Vito and Vito Show.
Who might you save?
Your mother, your father, your husband, uncle, aunt, son.
Learn FAST, F-A-S-T, the sudden signs of a stroke, and you could save
your friend, teacher, boss.
F, face drooping. A, arm weakness. S, speech difficulty. T, time to call 911. F-A-S-T. That's F, face drooping. A, arm weakness. S, speech difficulty. T, time to call 911. The sooner they get to the hospital, the sooner they'll get treatment. And that can make a remarkable difference in the recovery of
your neighbor, the waiter, grandmother, grandfather.
So learn FAST, the sudden signs of a stroke, then pass it on, because you never know who might save you.
Your wife, your colleague.
Spot a stroke fast. Visit strokeassociation.org. Brought to you by the American Stroke Association and the Ad Council.
It may be hard to believe, but people just like you are already saving money. FeedThePig.org makes it easy. Their simple savings plan teaches you how to start saving without going overboard. So you don't need to mooch off your friends.
You gonna finish that grape?
You mean the one in my mouth?
You don't need to stop buying the necessities.
What you're smelling is a natural musk.
Ew.
You don't need to be a medical test subject.
How do you feel?
Mostly okay. Sometimes, though.
You don't need to get a second job as a stuntman.
We need a new stuntman. Let's break for lunch.
You just need an internet connection. Don't get left behind. Start your personal savings plan with the tips and tools on feedthepig.org. That way, you don't need to sell your soul to the devil.
$15 is the best I can do.
All right, deal. Brought to you by the American Institute of CPAs, the California Society of CPAs, and the Ad Council.
Fighting the Common Core standards? Need a powerful tool to help inform others on this harmful education initiative? You're covered with Common Ground on Common Core, the collection of essays by 20 top education experts and activists. Reviewers call it the best single resource on the topic. You can share it with literally anyone. Order your print or digital copy of Common Ground on Common Core today. Just visit resoundingbooks.org. That's resoundingbooks.org. And get $2 off when you tell them Vito and Vito sent you. Paid for by Resounding Books Pack.
It's important to plan ahead for emergencies, like the storm. When it kicked in, we had a plan. We were able to get in touch with each other in no time.
Idea how to find each other.
The whole experience was
the
fine.
most frightening 10 hours of my life.
If there's one piece of advice I'd offer other moms out there, it's to stay calm and keep to the plan.
Some parents plan ahead. Some don't. Make sure you know where to find your family in an emergency. Start your plan at ReadyPA.org. Brought to you by ReadyPA, FEMA, and the Ad Council.
And we're back here in the Vito and Vito show. Check us out on the website, www.vitoandvito.com. And give us a like and a follow on social media, on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at Vito and Vito Show. And Mike Pence, Vito.
All right. Mike Pence taps as the VP for Donald Trump. Is it going to help him? Is it going to hurt him? I say it's really not going to have that big of an effect. It's not like a Sarah Palin type pick. It's really going to have, I think, a coastful effect. It was a safe pick by Donald Trump. But Pence isn't a terrible governor. He's actually pretty good. He defended religious liberty in Indiana, don't forget.
Yes, he passed that law last year.
He was an early advocate of the Tea Party movement.
Yes.
Okay, so I really have nothing really bad to say about him. He endorsed Ted, and
he
now
ran, he ran for Speaker in 2006 against Boehner.
Yes, he
to
did.
win against Boehner.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently, he goes back. He's friends with Paul Ryan because he was in the House with him. The Koch brothers like him, but the Koch brothers came out and said they're not going to get involved in the race. So
I just wonder how well Pence could help Trump navigate the political climate. Pence actually had some backing. He had some gravitas when he served as a representative. He did serve as a representative, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So he has some gravitas there. But Newt Gingrich was the Speaker of the House. I mean, he was the guy in the leadership. That I still think Newt would have been a good choice. I still also think somebody like
right, but you have to look at
Alan West, someone with military credentials would have been a good choice.
This is a popularity game. This is all
even John Bolton. There's a pot. How could you go against somebody like that?
I don't know about VP, but other places in government. But listen, Newt Gingrich has so much baggage. Nobody wants to be president. He ran.
What baggage? What baggage does Gingrich have? What, the fact with his wife or whatever? Who cares? Trump's been married 6, 7, 8 times. Who gives a damn?
People do care. You can't just forget about that.
Yeah, but if people care,
So
they'd also care. If people care, they'd care about Donald Trump. Donald Trump's been married many different times. Why does it matter now? Why would it matter with Gingrich?
This is why I said that the only people that the VP pick is going to persuade are conservatives. For whatever reason, people aren't voting for Trump now. The VP pick is not going to make them vote for Trump.
Well, here's the question. You're a never Trump guy, Vito.
Yeah.
Okay, I am a pro-Trump supporter. Cruz is gone, so to all the Cruz people, I'm sorry. The party's over. I used to be a Cruz supporter, but he's gone. Therefore, we have to get behind the candidate. And this candidate in Donald Trump is something that comes along once in a lifetime. This big guy that I think is really going to change things and shake things up. So I have no reservations for voting for Donald Trump. You do, Vito. Is that true? Yes, no, maybe so? Say words.
Well,
are you against Donald Trump, yes or no?
Yes, we went over this.
So you're never Trump, and I am fully in the tank for him. Does Mike Pence help sway your decision to vote for him? You consider yourself a conservative?
Yes.
So?
Yes.
Does this impact the conservative vote?
This does push me closer to Trump. This does, because I don't know everything about Mike Pence.
So much for
obviously.
never Trump.
I hate
never doesn't mean never.
Did I?
You put yourself in the never Trump game. Go back in the tapes and listen to yourself.
Right.
You say you're never Trump.
Did I just say I'm voting for Trump?
You said this pushes you closer to him.
Yeah, but doesn't mean I'm doing it.
All right, well, we'll see. Come November.
All right, I might take a couple of steps closer to Poole. Doesn't mean I'm jumping in. All right? Listen, I like Pence. This was a good job. Good job, Mr. Donald Trump. Whoever told you to pick him is doing a good job.
Maybe he chose himself.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Why do I doubt that?
Why?
Why?
Because you're ignorant. Let's move on.
Really? Trump is obviously the most consistent conservative in the United States, and he knows exactly what
I didn't say he was the most consistent conservative. I said Trump.
How
do you know Trump
had
had no
epiphany
role
last year, and then he woke up and decided to run?
What does that have to do with him picking Mike Pence for VP?
Because it has nothing to do with being conservative. How does he know to pick Mike Pence? Like now,
Mike Pence is a pretty conservative governor from the state of Indiana, and he supported Ted Cruz. Seems like a good pick to me. It's enough.
And his favorite movie is The Wizard of Oz.
I think it was a good pick by Donald Trump. Pence could help him navigate Washington a little bit, but I think Gingrich would have been better. Let's move on. We don't have a lot of time here, Vito. So save you never Trump. I'm going to destroy the party, take it down the ship, all that stuff. Save it for another time.
Destroy the party. Too late. You guys pick Trump.
The new Republican Party platform is out, and it's got some crazy things in it. We got to talk about it. Pornography is a public menace, according to the new GOP platform.
You know what's a public menace?
Okay, you got them worked up. You got them worked up, ladies and gentlemen. You got them worked up because, as college students, sex is a natural part of life, and we learned that in the dormitory.
As a person,
as a human being.
Okay.
So go ahead.
Okay.
Now he's all worked up.
Number one, porn is not a public menace. A public menace is Hillary Clinton.
ISIS.
And ISIS. That's a public menace. Okay, that's when you walk out and say, damn, I shouldn't go near those guys today. Not, oh no, he's watched porn too often. No. Are you kidding me? What? It's like, do you grow hair on your hands because you watch too much porn? Do you can you not go outside and see the daylight? Yeah, you go blind, right? It burns. Okay, I don't know what you're watching. Okay, you want to hear statistics? The most porn watchers and users on the website in the United States happen to be down south in the most conservative states. That's statistically proven. Okay? So these Republicans who want to ban it are watching it.
Well, they don't say they want to ban it.
It's a menace.
They said it
How
was
is that a menace? I want somebody to sit
I don't know.
down
I firmly
and explain to me how that's a menace.
I firmly disagree with them. I don't see how it's a menace. Don't even if it's bad for you. Who gives a damn? It doesn't matter.
How is it bad for you? It's bad for you. Heroin.
There have been studies left and right on this issue. Pornography it does not affect you. It really doesn't.
And guess what? Another study shows that the more masturbation you have, the less chance of prostate cancer.
Look at that.
Okay. It's fine. Man. Idiots.
All right. We also have the GOP platform now embraces conversion therapy, gay conversion therapy.
Oh, we embrace this.
Yeah.
Because that's also a menace to society.
I know. You know, I know. They also defend
it's a disease.
They also gay conversion, which is just some sick thing. I don't know.
How
I'm
do you
from New York.
convert?
I'm from New York. We're from New York. So when we see gay people, it doesn't really bother us. But I don't know.
Gay people, what is that? Sing around the subway. Jesus Christ, they're people.
Why the hell do we make such a big deal about this issue? I don't
know.
We're libertarian. we are.
The power of choice compels you.
We are libertarian on this issue, and religion and politics is certainly a good conversation to have. But really, I mean, I don't know. I don't even see how this is remotely important. I do not see how this is remotely important. They also voted to keep traditional marriage in the GOP platform, even though gay marriage is official. They should really rewrite their platform to say that gay marriage or marriage in general should be a private affair. That's a liberty-oriented solution.
Well, marriage is a religious thing. The state gets involved, screws everything around.
They should take some lessons from the Libertarian Party. That guy Gary Johnson, that nutbag, that guy might be a good option. GOP can learn from him a little bit. I mean, what bothers me the most, Vito, is that a lot of gays are coming out for Trump after a lot of these shootings, especially in Orlando, and other things because of jobs and who he is and his gravitas. Now, this is going to shy a lot of people away from the GOP, but I really don't think it's going to matter because Trump doesn't really give a damn about the platform, and that's a good thing.
Who comes up with this?
Well, the platform committee. They all sit because the convention is going on, so they come up together and they make things together.
Who's this? Who?
A bunch of delegates on the rules committee.
John Smith, Joe Ham.
I don't know.
Names,
all right. Why?
Names.
Why? Want to go after them? Like Roger Stone? You're gonna give out the hotel numbers at the delegate?
Go get the hotel numbers over something like that. I should be able to do it.
All right. So time of the week again. Forget about it. Moments of the week.
What? Forget about it? Forget about it. Forget about it. Oh, forget about it.
Forget about it. Moments of the week here on the Vito and Vito Show. We break down some of the craziest moments that happened in the past week, and we tell you just what went wrong. All right, Vito, the first moment right here that is absolute forget about it moment.
Ready? Do you play the new app, the new game Pokemon Go?
No, I don't. I've grown up.
Good.
You, on the other hand, you do, like a child. But go ahead.
Oh, it's downloaded. I don't really.
Yeah, my
play
behind. You play it all the time.
Hey, listen, that was my childhood. I can't be nostalgic for a minute.
Yeah, a minute. Are you like one of those people that run around the city and the streets and all that, and
No, I don't run.
You're swiping your phone, and you look like a fool. You're moving around.
I drive most of the time, so I don't have. I can't play.
Yeah, all right.
Listen, I've ran over the Pokemon. Ready? But in San Diego.
Never mind the children. But go ahead.
2 men fell off a cliff in San Diego while playing Pokemon Go.
See, that's embarrassing. Did they die?
I'm not sure.
That's crazy.
Not sure, but people are dumb.
I've heard that people are
this
driving.
This game, I guess, weeds out the idiots in the society.
It's a form of,
cleansing.
In a way. Like not the right word I wanted to use, but they're sort of killing themselves. I mean, out of stupidity.
Yeah.
So you got, I've heard people are driving and playing this stupid thing.
Well, people drink and drive, play Pokemon Go and drive.
That's not even a cool way to die. I'm sorry.
No, it's not. If I'm going down, I'm going off a bridge.
Yeah, like playing a game of chicken, like in, what's that movie with James Dean? Rebel Without a Cause. You know when they play chicken and they're driving their cars off the cliff? Like, that's a cool way to die.
What, you mean how James Dean died in real life on a highway?
Or James, like, yeah, that's like a cool way. Now,
it must be so painful.
If we change the story to, like, he was playing Pokemon Go and James Dean tragically crashed, that's boring and just, that's so not cool. Move on, next.
Wait, cool ways to die is what Vito. Not in Hampshire, in England, the police are making misogyny a hate crime.
That's ridiculous.
Ready, Vito?
Mm-hmm.
I want to read to you what this says.
Oh,
What the hate crime is.
Quickly.
Okay, it's anything that you say towards a woman and includes behavior targeted towards a woman by men simply because they're a woman. Only just because they're a woman. If you're going to talk to a girl just because they're a girl, that's a hate crime.
Really?
Okay? Now, as a heterosexual white male.
Okay, we are again being attacked. Go ahead.
Yeah. If you want to go talk to a girl because they're a girl and you're attracted to girls, and they're attractive, and you say, hey, you're looking good today, that's a hate crime. Okay? Get your balls hanged from City Hall.
Is that the penalty?
I don't know, but I can't stand it.
I don't.
It's stupid.
I don't.
Stupid.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? You want to know the next one, Vito? You're going to like this one. A man in Pittsburgh.
All right.
A man in Pittsburgh cloaked his entire house with the American flag. And he's a giant Trump supporter.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. I want to go ahead and get that guy a high five. We're going to make America great again. Make America great again. What do you got, Vito? Go ahead.
The last, forget about it. A woman in Siberia was decapitated while having sex on the tracks. The railroad tracks.
She was killed for having sex on railroad tracks?
No, she was having sex on the railroad tracks.
And the train took her head off?
Yeah.
Whatever.
She was on top, by the way. That's what the article says.
All right, thanks for listening to Vito and Vito Show. Check out the website, VitoandVito.com, www.vitoandvito.com. Give us a follow, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. We're going to put up that video of us talking about Black Lives Matter on Newsmax coming up here on the Vito and Vito Show. Check out the social media in Brooklyn.
It's nothing but the truth.